Hi everybody, it's Paul Harris from Global Recruiters Network of Blackhawk here in sunny California. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. As you may know, I run an executive search firm that specializes exclusively in the telecom sector with a primary niche of wireless infrastructure. Last week I spent a day at the 6th annual Cloud Slam, or Cloud Strategy event in San Francisco. It was a great meeting. All the bigwigs from the cloud world and vendors, etc. Speakers including Don Ferguson, the CTO from Dell Software, Shailesh Rao, who runs Google's entire cloud strategy globally. Speakers from GE, HP, SFDC, etc. By the way, the guy from SFDC knocked the cover off the ball. I want to tell you a little bit about that in a little bit. But let me just kind of give you some of the highlights. And you might be saying, Paul, I don't get it. You're a wireless infrastructure guy. What are you doing at a cloud event? And I guess the answer is A, love to learn new things. B, I love to kind of keep abreast of kind of what's happening, anything tangential to the wireless infrastructure world. So kind of the convergence of cloud with data centers, telecom software, software-defined networks, functions, virtualization, Internet of Things, blah, 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 on and on. I like to kind of make sure that I'm up to speed on that as it relates to the wireless infrastructure world. So just going to give you some of my notes real quickly. It was a great day, so I'm going to try to kind of give you the highlight from my perspective. Number one is just kind of why is the cloud taking off? And by the way, if you're a cloud expert, you're probably not going to learn a lot from me. If you're not, you may. So that would be my goal. And why is the cloud taking off? Well, we know what's going on with the, in our world of wireless infrastructure with the, data tsunami or data explosion as we call it. We all know what's causing that. One of the interesting facts that I received was the amount of data that has been happening in the past 5 years has now surpassed from the beginning of time to 5 years ago. We've surpassed that in the past 5 years. What else? Affordable capacity. So you can store the entire world's music library for $600 now. You can do 1 million queries per second for $10. It's crazy, and obviously the world is embracing this kind of high-tech, data world that we're in, as averaged by a couple statistics, which I just found really exciting. Number one is, so in 1957, so I guess that's 57 years ago, in 1957, the average age of a company, in other words, how long they've been around, the average age of a company in the S&P 500 in 1957 was 75 years old. Fast forward 2013, last year, the average age of a company in the S&P 500 was 10 years old. 10, not 75. Wow, is that just showing the rate of change in this world? I love it. That's why it's so fun to be in this world right now. So, let's talk a little bit about the cloud. Some of the notes that I took. Obviously, cloud has been around for years. It's kind of got in mainstream and whatnot. Probably 2008, 2009, people started following it. But it's been around for a long term, described or disguised maybe as other different things, outsource IT or self-service IT or etc. And what's the great thing about the cloud? Obviously, subscription based and incredibly flexible. Some of the examples they gave was, if you need to scale up for what's going to happen on Super Bowl Sunday, right? You're going to have to scale this big, and it's going to be very expensive, especially when you consider that the other 364 days of the year, you need this much capacity. So that's what's the great thing about the cloud. Another example is just kind of a comparison. You go into a grocery store, and on one night you need to feed 50 Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or soccer team or whatever. You can do that at the grocery store. The next night you go in there and it's just dinner for you and the family type of thing. And that's that's what's a great thing about a giant supermarket, and that's what's great about the cloud as well. Other facts and figures, it's primarily being used by the developers and IT folks now. Clients are using multiple different cloud providers to provide different types of services. Some companies are building a cloud platform on top of their existing platform. Others, maybe newer companies are going with a cloud platform only because there's no legacy platform to deal with. Google has the largest cloud platform for the past 15 years, and then there's about 2,000 software as a service providers now. But bottom line with the cloud, better way to do business, better way to serve your customers. Things we know about the cloud, obviously there's public, there's a private cloud, there's a hybrid cloud, encompassing software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. And I think probably we'd all agree that it's, primarily infrastructure as a service now, but I think we'd all agree that the lines are kind of becoming blurred between those different three. Obviously, data center is huge, right? The data center customers are using the cloud. There's 600 million square feet of data centers in the United States, and they're rated from tier 1 to tier 4. Tier 4 meaning the most secure. Speaking of the most secure, and by the way, this is it, you guys, I'm done except for one more thing. I want to tell you a little bit about the speech given by the guy from Salesforce.com, SFDC, a guy named Peter Coffey. And now, I don't know if he practices this speech or gives it every day, but man, was he good. He just nailed it to the wall. And basically what his examples were, different ways to do the cloud, the right way to do the cloud or the wrong way to do the cloud. And he basically gave some examples. If you're doing it this way, you're doing it right. If you're doing it this way, you're doing it wrong. One of his quotes, and I can't guarantee you this was an exact quote, so please don't quote me on quoting him, but the flavor was basically, hey, you guys, if you're owning your own private cloud, you're crazy. And maybe that wasn't the exact quote, but it was darn close. A public cloud is 1,000 times more secure than what most enterprises are using. There's a lot of talk obviously about the cloud. How secure is it? And remind me of when I was at IWCE in Las Vegas a couple months ago, so International Wireless Communication Expo or whatever it was. There was a lot of talk about that. And I can't remember who the speakers were, but they were basically saying, you guys, if you're wondering if your cloud, if the public cloud is more secure than what you have right now, the questions you should be asking yourself is, do you have more money than Google? Are the guys that work for you, the guys and women, are they better than the guys that work at HP? Are your guys smarter than the guys at Microsoft? Are they going to be there at 3 a.m. when the world's falling apart with like the guys at SFDC, etc. So there's a lot of talk about basically how the real issue is not is the cloud secure, it's basically is the software secure, and that's the issue that we have to really deal with. So the different speeches, as soon as actually they're lauded on the Cloud Slam event, we will get those posted, the link here, so you guys can look at it from our LinkedIn group. And it was just a great meeting, and you can just pick out the meaty parts that you think would be good to watch and watch it there. So that's it. I'm signing off, you guys. If you ever need to get a hold of us, Global Recruiters of Blackhawk, and my email address is all over the website, etc. So you're welcome to reach out to us. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.